Shoes on.
Right.
You are Frank, actually.
My shoes.
Frank is showing his
My shoes not on.
doing a Cinderella. With Eliminator, when was that actually recorded?
A year ago, last March.
It was completed in March of '83.
Three, yeah.
We worked for about 3 months in Memphis on that.
Three fun months.
The album itself was sort of a refreshing. I agree with the critics where they say it was a refreshing approach to music, even though it was what you were doing for a long time. In the fact that it brought people. I think people were getting so bored with that synthesized jumble that was sort of coming from everywhere that it was sort of like a good brand of rock and roll. And it's an album that stuck around for a while. Did you expect it to be so successful as it has?
Oh,
Or you don't think
not as successful as it has been. I mean,
yeah.
I guess I didn't think about it. You know, you don't try to think how many it's going to sell or how long it's going to stay up. It is done very well and stayed around a long time, and which is wonderful. And we just take it at that.
But as far as audiences are concerned, I mean, you must have some idea because you're in even like contact and just playing to audiences. Do you think they'd become bored with music and they needed rock and roll, you know, the source of rock and roll back?
We felt good about that record because we were back playing as a band in the studio. The three of us were in the room instead of being hidden off in some closet, communicating by headphones and whatnot. We were actually working off one another as it went down. So it from the very beginning, it felt real good to us just to make this kind of a record, you know.
That was the most fun album to record. You know, I mean, the actual in the studio time.
Now you're saying it took 3 months. Did some of the songs evolve in the studio itself, or were they all pre-written before you went in?
Everything changes, you know. I mean, one time or another.
Yeah, we wrote some of them in the studio. We wrote
TV Dinners.
The slow song.
I Need You Tonight.
I Need You Tonight. We wrote
Flag It Out.
Yeah,
Flag Her Down.
Flag Her Down.
Right.
A couple of them.
And we'll keep changing the songs until we get it recorded. I mean, because we'll keep kind of toying with them, you know. So.
And it really didn't take. I mean, we say 3 months, but actually it was a lot quicker. There was a lot of downtime in that 3 months.
Right.
Because we'll go and then we'll go off somewhere and they have to find us again. You know,
we'll take off
the band for a while. You know?
See if you can find me.
So it went really quick. We'd go in and lay, you know, going for 3 or 4 days and lay a whole bunch down and then, you know, take off.
Now, there are albums I refer to as sort of being a complete album, that it seems to sort of fit, everything fits so snugly and I figure that Eliminator is a complete album. I mean, do you feel that? Do you think it's probably the most complete album you've done?
The songs, I think, stack together nicely. You know, I think so.
Now you had to also, by this stage, approach video, and I was saying to some to people outside before you arrived that it was refreshing also the approach you made to video. Whereas, like, video had gone completely. I mean, it had Peter Pan flying in the sky, and it had nothing to do with the damn group that was down there playing. You know, the concept of the videos? Were they your ideas, or jointly you and
the videos are a visual on the song, and the songs are already written.
Right.
So the concept's already there. I mean, to us, Peter Pan flying around having nothing to do with the song didn't fit, but it's the story.
Right. Yes, it was our idea. We didn't want to be us on stage.
we didn't want to smoke either, did we?
You know,
that's Peter Pan flying around.
So, you know, a video of a band on stage playing their song is kind of a drag. We wanted to be there and not be there, and we found Tim Newman, who is he was able to tune in to, like, by talking with us and listening to our music and through a couple of meetings to get the idea of what ZZ Top's all about, which is something that has eluded a lot of people for 10 years.
Well, it certainly successfully did that.
And so, you know, when we would sit down and say, let's do this, let's do that, and we would come up with these ideas.
The videos, in a sense, are a little like being in the studio.
Right.
I mean, you're there and you change things at the very last minute. The first video, we were supposed to stand beside the road and watch the car go by.
Right.
Well, I just didn't want to stand there, so Frank, one of y'all came up with this, which is a little thing.
Right.
Just came up, and everyone's doing that everywhere we go now, but that's likened to the studio. I mean,
right.
Just things come up. So it was a lot of fun, very creative.
I mean, it also gave, apart from the visual image of the band itself, it gave a visual stamp to the sort of almost like your own ideas of marketing and what represents ZZ Top too, didn't it? And that's,
yeah,
I mean, it gave a great
girls and cars.
Girls, cars. Yeah. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, how long did it take to do those videos?
Shot them in 3 days.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
3 days apiece.
Yeah. Well, one of them took 6 because we
Yeah.
had to do it twice.
Yeah.
But
Lab technician ruined the film for
we had to
legs.
redo the whole thing again. But about 3 days is all our part is. I mean, I'm sure they do exterior shots or something
Yeah.
like that.
Now, both with that, with the album and the videos, would it be fair to say that it's opened up a completely new market for ZZ Top?
I think it's added to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the old guys and their little brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas we didn't have the little brothers before.
Hey, you see the variety in the crowd now, which is great to see.
Mm.
14, 35, or I guess I don't know what age limits, but good mixture.
And the other thing that's quite astonishing about the album is, I mean, even with Australia, that it just keeps moving up the charts.
Yeah.
Whereas you would have thought, by now, perhaps you'd be thinking about another album coming out. And now it's breaking, and when it's broken so big in England, is there any thoughts about now going on a world tour?
I'd like to.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah?
It's just a matter of when we can do it.
Right.
Well, we're real interested in putting another album out.
And we were really interested in touring.
Right.
On a worldwide scale. I mean,
But right now it's time to put out a record.
Yeah.
I was thinking about having lunch.
We got
And then maybe the record. I don't know. One of the two.
Right. Now, the other thing that's amazing is coming down to Houston and coming to this place right here, and the staff that work around the whole thing of ZZ Top, and the whole idea of the
Peter Pan again.
That was me.
That was Tinkerbell.
Is the whole marketing idea of a proper fan club. I mean, there are so many acts that come. I mean, well, I won't mention the particular acts, but I mean, they have supposedly fan clubs that are just totally, number one, they can be a rip-off, and they just don't seem to have much interest. With this, oops, what's happened now? You've lost the body.
this is indestructible tripod.
Pick it up, pick the question up.
Yeah, with the fan clubs, I mean, there's a lot that, as I say, are either rip-offs or that they just don't have very much interest towards, giving the people who do follow a group a chance to have newsletters and that. Whereas with this, it's completely the other way around. I mean, whose idea was to put it all together in the first place and have it to such an operation as it is now?
Well, a professional approach, I guess, is our manager kind of
Right.
oversees all that type of thing, and not wanting to rip off any of the fans is a big thing to us. So,
Right.
he more or less put together, we can say.
Yes, and with the able assistance of lovely Donna Taylor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All you fans writing Box 19744 in Houston, Donna Taylor will handle your every need.
But I mean, the
now.
great thing is that with with the name, with the logos and the ideas of the cars and that, it's almost been a promoter's dream as far as marketing is concerned.
Yeah, I guess so.
It sure has. But it's done with so much style. I mean, even the program is a really stylish program. I mean, do you have much say in all of this?
Everything except who gets to drive the car.
Right.
And
We've
he
owned it
gets to
five-
talk to the girls.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just finished reading the Peter Brown book about the Beatles, and it was astonishing. Like when the Beatles first came over, the rip off by other people, where the band didn't have that understanding of merchandising their own product, and they estimate that they could have lost nearly $100 million.
Oh yeah, well that was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
and learning, I think everyone's learned by other people's mistakes.
Right.
I mean the whole business, the whole music industry has learned from before, and I'm sure
mistakes.
The Beatles' mistakes, yeah. But that type of thing is handled well around here.
Right. Now, getting back to Eliminator and to what you were saying, you want to go back to recording again. Does it? I mean, ever enter your heads now? How can we follow this up? I mean, it's probably like Michael Jackson. How in the hell is he going to follow up Thriller? Does that I mean, psychologically hit you when you're writing a new song, or what?
We thought about it.
Yeah.
But it's really no fun.
You try not to dwell on it, yeah.
To do that. For us, it's just a question of getting back and writing again.
Right.
I don't think there was much thought as, what did it take to make this record?
Well, like I said before, you don't sit down and go, let's write a single.
Right.
Let's write this. So we don't sit down and go, God, let's write something to equal or top Eliminator. I mean, you can't do that. You just let's write a song about, matches or something.
Right.
I don't care,
Because the interesting thing also is the fact that what you were saying before, where you've got the people in their 30s and perhaps their brothers are 14. With the success of Eliminator, it's now renewed sales and going back to almost the first and second, third albums with another market. So I suppose that one has to take that into account with everything else. Of when do you release another track? With all this going so big now.
Well, but you want to be working on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you want.
We're just anxious to get in there and start writing again.
Yeah.
And so I'm ready to make another record.
Well, listen, congratulations on all the success over the last. It's good to have you back too, by the way, and especially Eliminator. And you've got a tour, and you must come down to Australia.
Oh, we will. We must.
You'll enjoy it down there.
We will be there.
We want to see a Tasmanian devil.
No, Errol Flynn's dead.